Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello and welcome once again for the final time in 2022 to the NASCAR Truck Series. It's going to be so long adieu and whatever the hell that means. I mean, the Americans not all that understanding of international culture. And we here will attempt to understand their culture tonight. We're going to go quite in depth. We're going to analyze what is the Big Mac, what's in the Golden Arches, why KFC is all about the finger licking good, and ultimately, why does turning left feel better than turning right? To help me with all my analysis here this evening is none other than Howie Howard. Continue to be annoyed at it. Continue to be annoyed at it because it's only going to make me say it more often.
I know, it's so frustrating. And there's no analysis tonight. I don't do any of that. That sounds like numbers and things.
No, we're just going to be talking about American cultural references, my friend.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, what is in the Golden Arches? That was one thing I'm interested to learn about.
Well, I'm going to say arch because they're arch-shaped and
And maybe gold.
Yeah.
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 I think you'll probably find it's fiberglass and metal.
I have a strong feeling that if it was actually gold, they'd be out of business already. Because think of all of the golden arches right around the world. We'd be in trouble. Anyway, gold is the name of the game here in qualifying. T. Riles has finished his qualifying attempt. He's on top of the table with a 33.061. Very quick, nice early on. Having a look down the field, our championship contenders. Matty Skulls and Aiden Schultz are the guys to keep your eyes on here tonight. Schultz has only managed the 33.153.
Oh, that's changed.
32.867. First of the drivers to get into the 32.8s.
Densley not far behind him either. Densley actually set his time first, and then Schultz came back with a fiery. So, but continue on about the points, mate. These are the closest I have seen points across our series.
Well, you say that. No, it's not even this year because you think back to the inaugural running of the NASCAR Truck Series, and that was the closest that we've ever seen. It hasn't gotten massively better, but I mean, it hasn't gotten worse. To be perfectly honest, the first season set a very, very high standard, whereby there was a dead heat after the last round, and we had to go to tiebreakers to resolve it. Point situation. I haven't previewed them. I know it was close last week when I finished the points. I went, "Oh, that's close," and then never thought about it again.
Good work. That's what happens when we finish work, isn't it? Just switch off and forget about everything. Hey, have you turned your little time clock on?
That would be a good idea. You're smart. Where did you learn that?
I like getting paid, you see.
Yeah, I do too. My wife's coming back next week to start a new job and get paid, so there's that.
Does
She's
that
off this week.
So I have to move out now?
For you to move out, you had to move in first. So
Yeah,
unless you've been making no noise, I'm pretty certain you're not there.
I'm a pretty quiet sleeper. We got a few guys in chat already. Straight away, our podcast just is off the Richter. It's got no organisation whatsoever. Thank you to our naming rights sponsor, DSL Welding Services, and our round sponsor, Warren and Brown Tools. And also, thank you to all of you, our viewers out there that join us every week for the Monday Night Podcast. This is going to be the last one for this year. I'm feeling a little emotional tonight, so hopefully... Why not?
It's a coming back next year?
Yeah, I know, but it's the last of the year. It's been so fun this year.
Yeah. I'll get emotional when you come down here and we get to meet each other in person. That's when I'll get emotional.
We're doing it over Christmas.
I will bawl my eyes out.
Boxing Day. We're doing it.
Is this you making plans?
Yeah, I just made a plan. That's what we're doing.
Because our wives were both like, "Oh yeah, you two, you need to make the plans." We put our wives in charge of making the plans of when we're going to meet up. They immediately flipped the script and said, "No, you guys are in charge of that."
Yeah. Well, we should probably do it sometime during the time that I'm down there.
You're going to get on the boat to leave again and be like, "Oh, there's something I'm forgetting."
No. We're coming to your area for a whole week to stay there. The cruise is before all that. We go on the cruise on the 11th or 12th, I think. It's a before Christmas cruise. There you go, guys. That's my plans for Christmas. Would you like to see my itinerary too? But anyway, we've got Darren Rod dropped in that said, hey guys, we got Mr. Peter Morris, the ShiBBy meter, dropping in saying, sup homies. Steve Hall with the afternoon. Scotty and Nath, hope you're well. We are doing well, Steve.
Afternoon?
Yeah, you're a little behind. Little bit behind.
Is that a sand groper right here? Over in the west? You told me that I needed to clock in, and I forgot about it for like a solid 2 minutes.
Good work. Appreciate it. All right, the boys are coming out onto.
That was cute.
That was cute.
Did you hear that from Thomas Riley?
No, I can't have that on just in case people say naughty things over the broadcast.
Well, Thomas Riley said something very, very cute. And it's been a pleasure racing with you guys. I can't wait to do it all again next year.
Oh, mate, we can't wait to have you come back. He's been, honestly, I think my favourite to watch this series. The end of last series in this series.
I think the NASCAR Trucks has had the widest race winners, breadth of race winners.
It's true.
Or just podiums, sorry, podiums in general. So that's been fun. Yeah, no, it's just been wall-to-wall good times.
Oh, it's been a blast. I couldn't ask to do it with a better commentator either.
I could.
You could, yeah. Well, tough luck.
From your shoes, I think you should have picked a greater commentator. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are green. The first time that they go green tonight will be the last time they pace up and see a green flag in that manner. From here on out, it's only the yellows that's going to trigger that.
Densley.
And welcome. Whoa, there's a lot of cars up and into the barrier. It wasn't just Densley. Kenny's all over the slot coming down the main straight. There was a car that went straight up and into the outside barrier.
Yeah, it all started with Densley. He's clipped the wall at the very beginning and sort of wiggled his way back down. And I think it caused everybody else to sort of freak out a little bit on cold tyres, and it made everybody else shift.
Well, the championship battle, ladies and gentlemen, 8 points it is that covers our top two. And you know what that means? It means that Skulls must win if he's going to go and get himself a championship.
The old boat ramp trophy is up for offer for the first time of our NASTRUCKS series.
Yeah, inaugural trophy. Again, I have completely and utterly forgotten to do anything with it and get that prepared. But it is coming, I promise you.
You don't have to promise me. You're going to promise to the guy that is going to win the race, the driver.
I'll get a graphic together.
Yeah, we'll just draw one and send them a picture.
In fact, I think the worst looking trophies, those are generally the ones that people enjoy the most.
All right, it looks like Glenn McLeod and Tom Riley's working together. And in this situation, that's a good thing for Tom. Yeah, where's he sitting? 4th at the moment in the points. So he's going to want to try and... Oh, mate, you're the technical one here. I'm going to try and do a bit of technical talk. After 4 seasons, you think I would have learned something, right?
I opened the points and then very quickly closed them again.
Oh, Lord.
I did have them open. I looked at the gap to the leaders and went, I don't need that tab. Yes. Look, yeah, it's been tight right up and down the field. I think the gap's actually down the field. It was going into last race. I think it was actually like a 3-way tie for one of the places, but it's been incredibly close.
It has all season. And the fly through Mr. Blaine Densley, who jumped on over from the Sprintcars halfway through the series and then has taken podium after podium, and it's put him in 7th position.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a drive from him. Aidan Norris and Matty Skulls to the right, Sim Racing Boys have got P1, P2. The points have adjusted themselves, and I can't figure out why.
Oh, Schultz is first. The right Sims are 2nd and 3rd. Oh, is Glenn going to make this? He's going to try and get that bit of extra speed from the top row. Is he going to be able to carry this down the straight?
Sometimes it's just about getting out and getting into that different line. So the bottom is going to put a lot of pressure on that right front, a lot of braking. You can offset that by transitioning your brake bias a lot further back, but these trucks tend to run a very heavily front-weighted bias. Generally, they'll start on most setups about 62.5, 63. I think the Xfinity's actually start up around 65, and the Arcas are about the same as well.
Matty Skulls is making a bit of a push here. Is this a good thing to be pushing hard? Like, it's a pretty long race.
He's got to. If he wants to go and get after Aiden Schultz, he's got to. I think Matty Keen's just sort of shadowing him a little bit. So now he's taken the air away from Glenn. He's trying to find any truck that he can to work with him.
Well, we've got a pretty good train here. We've got 4 guys. But I wonder if they can maybe try and work together to catch Aiden. Aiden's just out of here at the moment. Excuse me while I just post this on my social media, because you guys know I'm such a big thing out there in this world, so...
Yeah, you got to update the socials.
Yeah, I got to do some updating my socials. And again,
huge... Look at the battle, though, early on between Luke Kenny and Riley. So Riley's not looked after his tyres, perhaps, in the format that he probably would have liked. And now he's sort of starting to feel the burn early. So the setup here can go in 2 distinct manners. It can get very, very loose, or it can get very, very tight, depending upon how you drive the truck, the track conditions, a whole bunch of different things. It's one of the few tracks whereby the setup will trend differently based upon how you're driving the car. Normally they trend very, very tight or very understeery, and you've got to get off the throttle very early, rotate the car nice and neutrally, and that's about all that you can really do about it. But yeah, it's Homestead, Miami, you've got to look after all 4 corners of the car.
Is that due to elevation in the track, or the actual surface the track is made out of?
It's due to the banking, yes. Partially the banking, partially the layout of the track, and then also because it's so narrow and short track. It's a shorter track. So it's sort of got all of those little bits and pieces all tied into one.
Oh, Win Cup the Cat has joined us in chat. No way. And he's saying, come on, Dad, bring me home the gold. That is hilarious. Wow, so Tom Riley, Glenn McLeod, Luke Kenny, Clayton Davis, and Matty Scholes are all pretty much on top of each other. Then we've got a bit of a gap between Nathan Allen, then Darren Palmer, Andrew Proctor.
Norris. Why is he lapped down?
That's a good question. He went into the pits for some reason. 4th lap. Yep, he did. 3rd lap has gone into the pits. No idea why there, mate. Maybe you can rustle up some information. But Matty Keen has caught the back of Aiden right now. We've got Captain Gold in here, all aboard the Triley train. It's great to see you all again on this beautiful Monday evening for our championship round of the DSL Welding NASCAR trucks, or as we like to call them, the NASTRUCKS. Man, has it been an exciting year. 4 seasons of trucks with more to come next year. Monday night is going to be huge, guys. If you love your NAS trucks and your IndyCar, ooh-wee.
The most important thing is the actual announcement that came, I believe it was last night. I sort of already knew a little bit about it, but effectively, we will have a doubleheader on Monday night, and it will just be all oval action. Oh, well, it's not all oval action, actually.
Yeah, because you got to remember, IndyCars do run some road tracks, and so do the NAS trucks. So But yeah, it's going to be all American, I suppose, an all American style show. But yes, we're going to have NASCAR trucks and then IndyCars directly after. So it's going to be an absolute blast. I'm really going to have to get someone who knows what they're talking about with IndyCars, as you will be racing them, of course.
Yep. So...
And if you don't win every race, mate, I'll tell you what.
Oh, I won't win because it's 50-50. It's so for the people out there who'll be sitting down and going, oh yeah, but Scott will just, you know, drive it the way that he is and he'll just run an IndyCar league. I'm actually not in charge of the schedule at all. My specialty is the oval stuff. The instant we come back onto the road course stuff, I mean, I've done well in TCRs and those sorts of things, but that's sort of where it's all sort of come to rest. So.
Yeah, that's right, because, sorry, I had a bit of a pause there. Yeah, Peter Baxter is actually bringing across the IndyCar series, which is going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to have Pete on board with us.
It's going to be something pretty unique. Okay, all right, get out. That's Jason Lem from SLM. Let's just did that. But yeah, it's going to be something pretty special. It's pretty unique. Which a lot of other places don't actually have access to at the moment, so.
Who are you talking to? Who did you tell to get out?
McAvoy. Oh, sorry, not McAvoy, Contagious. Sorry, my apologies.
Oh, I was like, what? Oh, is that one of the boys from SLM?
It is one of the boys from SLM.
Ah. I also need to find out, right? I work with Adrian Loretti's brother. What a small world,
No
hey?
way!
Yeah, no joke, man. I work with his brother, Chris. Like, no absolute joke. So, that was a bit of a spin out when I found that out. He said he dropped in and watched our quick throw together launch stream for the giveaways in our 6 hour. And I keep forgetting to ask him, who is he in our, like, field of viewers that drop in to say g'day? So...
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. We've got such a, you know, widespread of viewers and whatnot that it's a little bit difficult to keep track of who they all are.
Honestly,
I mean, I'm lucky enough.
The NASCAR, the podcast is easy. We know our,
we know
valued
our
viewers.
group.
Yeah, we do. They've got to be a little bit weird to fit in with the podcast, you see, so they're easy to point out.
So I'm actually really looking forward to the IndyCar for a couple of different reasons. Number one, the crowd. So the league is coming over from another league, and they've graciously let the league go and let it come across to SRW because they wanted to try something. They want to let the league try something new, and we thank them very much for that. So a big shout out to Global iRacing, and Aiden Schultz is actually the head over there. He said, you know, loves what we do over here at SRW. Obviously, he's out on track at the moment. And he was happy to just sort of let it go and hopefully it brings on a new set of drivers. And the other side of that coin is, I've already been speaking to a few people. So you would know if you would tune in on Wednesday night to the TCRs, how close Doug and I are and have been all season long in the championships. Doug and I have formed a really, really good friendship out of all that. And I'm going to teach Doug how to race IndyCars. So I'm a road guy coming to get his feet wet in terms of the oval. On the outside goes Blaine Densley of Darren Palmer. And this is what I was talking about, the two lanes sort of racing. Oh, big call from Matty Skulls.
Oh, he's in the pits.
Matty Skulls is in the pits, yeah. I like this.
Matty Keen's also got past Aiden. But, mate. Ovals. I'm always on such an edge. It feels like, to someone new who's never really watched this, and I can see why people would originally think, oval racing is boring. But now that I've got to learn more about it, I'm on edge. It may look like nothing's happening, but there is a lot
have a look at Blaine
happening.
Densley. Blaine Densley was so close to the wall in that corner. So he's trying to run. Have a look at this. This is where the line is. See the black markings on the wall? That is where cars most often make contact with the wall. Have a look how close it is. That is where the pace is. You've got to be up that high to really make that high line work. Everything that you're seeing here in terms of tyre fall off, and here comes Darren Palmer. This is awesome. Because Darren, if you throw back to the first time that we actually threw him in an oval a couple seasons back, was really, really struggling. really struggling to come up to grips, really struggling to get any pace. I'd say playing Densley got the wall that time. Yeah, there's a mark on the front right corner. 3 wide on the run down to turn number 1. Densley, Palmer, and Kenny. Palmer comes out with the lead out of all 3 of them. Densley's gone back to the high line. A brush with the wall, brush with disaster. Does not make him upset a little bit at all. And now he's got the run back from that top rope once more.
Gotta remember too, Densley coming from Sprintcars, he knows how to ride that top line. That is what he does continuously. If you haven't seen him race, guys, check out the Tuesday night broadcast. I'm sure he'll be on track tomorrow for our 360 Sprintcars Championship.
So he's going to send it back to the top. And this is smart from Palmer, covering the line off. And now Kenny's going to respond back on the low line. So this is going to hamper all 3 of these drivers because we've got to overdrive the truck a little bit to get the job done. Once you've got the job done, you settle back on your tires again. But because they were fighting each other for a couple laps there, and then Densley immediately gets the job done, straight back to the bottom. So the bottom is where he wanted to be, but he was never going to get the overtake done by being down there. So he had to go to the top line. He had to go searching for a little bit of pace.
Definitely shows that the bit of pace you get from that top line is enough to get in front. Where is Scalzi?
We've got to keep an eye on those
he's a
lap
lap down.
Yeah, but remember, he pitted.
Oh, that's true.
He's just gone by Nathan Allen.
Yeah, let me get rid of the ticker and put the timing tower back up for you.
Forget the timing tower. Forget the timing tower. Does not matter. What we need to keep an eye on is lap times.
Ooh, lap times. Okay, let's not worry about intervals.
Oh, look at that battle again. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, everyone else has yet to make a stop. Scalzi's come early because he's expecting a lot of green flag running. Oh man, he's just caught onto this battle. This is critical. He's got to get this job done as soon as possible. Great job. Perfect. Well done.
Thanks, mate. I do my best.
Not you.
Oh.
We're looking at the whole field's most recent lap time if we can, ShiBBy.
The whole team. The whole field.
Yeah, on the timing tower. Because here comes Kenny and Densley. Densley and Kenny are starting to see the benefit that Skulls is making on those tires. Oh man, he is on a charge. Did you get it for me? You did. Okay, check it out. 33.6. The leaders, 34.7. So he's made a second a lap on the most recent lap over our leaders. A second a lap. And he's been out there doing that since lap 22. And it is now lap 28. So he's got 6 seconds that he's just pulled back. He was mired back in traffic.
Hello, Guspec. Thanks for dropping in today, mate. Do these cars ever turn right? Occasionally. They do, actually. There's a couple of nights every series where one night they've got to turn right to go left when they hit the dirt tracks, and then we also stick them on a road course, so they do have to turn right.
Which they will be going to
Road Atlanta. Yeah, I can't believe that happened. I'm so happy. All right, Aiden's in the pits.
No, we're
Clayton's
completely clear.
Glenn's in the pits.
So
Michael's
Keen needs to
in the
pit
pits.
this next time by to keep the lead over Aiden Schultz. I mean, if I'm in Matty Keen's shoes, I cover him off straight away. Don't give him the opportunity. I think he's doing that. Oh, this is going to be critical. Where is Schultz?
Still in the pit, mate. He's just coming out
dropping.
now.
Guess what? Skulls is gone. He's going to come into shot. That's Skulls right there. Well done.
Spector's also asked, is this a destruction derby? Oh, mate, I tell you what, I wish. No crashes this evening, mate. You did miss I don't know if you caught the one last week when you dropped in, but there was an awesome one with the car up into the wall and then was airborne, So
the best part here for Skulls is now he can sort of lock these guys down a little bit.
Mate, he's in second.
Oh, here comes Matty Keen. So that's Matty Keen leaving pit lane there.
And T. Riley is right behind him. Andy Keane is going to slot back in 5th place, right next to Aiden.
He's got to go and get that job done on Aiden once again, but he's got cold tyres, so don't over push it. Let the tyres come up to temperature. Oh, Team Riley's not going to make pit lane! No, that was Norris. That was Aiden Norris? Aiden Norris. Yeah, it was Aiden Norris.
Do you think he was just trying to show off for the camera?
I didn't think he was going to make it. I'm going to be honest. I did not think he was going to make that.
From what it looked like, he wasn't
Would not
going
surprise
to
me
make it.
if he got a speeding penalty.
Let's have a quick look here. He definitely was coming in hot. Oh, yeah, got a little squirrely. Ooh.
Oh, he's probably got that. He's probably got away with that, actually.
That was a nice pull-up, I got to say.
I'll have to keep an eye on the pit lane time for him. But, yeah, okay, so now have a look at Skulls versus Schultz. There's only 0.4 of a second that Schultz is pulling out of Skulls. Oh, Nathan Allen!
Oh, Allen!
That'll trigger a yellow.
Big slide.
There's no way they get out of... Oh, they've not triggered a yellow? Well done.
Now it has. Oh, no, it hasn't.
Still hasn't. He's parked down on the apron. He's off the track.
Yep, there it is. Our first caution of the night. Guys, don't forget to get your bets in to think how many cautions we're going to have tonight. The last couple of weeks have shown some really good green flag racing. So, you know, apart from a little spin like that, I don't think we'll see many.
So the critical thing is that is not what Skulls wanted to see. So Skulls wanted that to go green probably another 5 or 10 laps to the point whereby the whole field would have to come back down pit lane. Because as soon as that happened, he's got track position, which is what his strategy was intending upon doing, and he's not got a tyre disadvantage. If he pits right now, he goes to the rear end of the field. And he'll only have a couple laps worth of tyre advantage, which is not what he wants. Wouldn't surprise me to see him stay out. Okay. He's gonna pit. This is worst case scenario for Skulls here.
The race is still young, sort of. 5 laps off halfway. The thing is, though, if another caution gets thrown, it could have worked in his favour.
No.
Possibly.
Okay. So why is this the wrong call? I would have stayed out here if I'm in his shoes. Yeah. There's gonna be cars going by left, right, and center. But you're already in that. If you come down, I think he only took a splash of fuel. I didn't see the car actually go up on the jacks. Hang on.
Yep, he's already out. His pit lane time was 7 seconds. So I think you're right. I think it was just a splash and dash.
Yeah, he didn't take tires. There's no way he took tires.
No way, mate. 7.2 seconds in the pit lane there. So
okay, so why? There's a couple reasons I like this even less. I would, if I was in Skulls' position, I would just stay out. Cautions tend to breed cautions. We've seen some really good racing. We've seen some really good packs here. If you're at the tail end of the field, you're going to be piling into the caution. Right? So if there's an accident that happens ahead of you, you're behind it. Number 2, what he's done here is, when you come to pit lane, you want to create some sort of advantage under a caution, right? He's still down on tires. Now he hasn't got track position. And all he's done is reset the fuel. Now, the reason why he's pit there is because he's got a lot less fuel than everybody else. So he had to make some sort of attempt at something here. And that's fine. But it doesn't lessen the number of stops in the race. I think for him it's still a guaranteed 1 stop to the end. And he gains nothing out of it. So that's why I have an issue with it.
Well, you are the encyclopedia of all thing ovals, so
yeah.
I would probably take your advice over mine. That's a definite.
So basically, if you've got track position, ladies and gentlemen, and you know you don't have the tires, hang on to it. Right? Unless there's a fuel number you're trying to hit. That's the only... If he's desperately in a fuel hole and he has to cover that hole off, then what he's done is the only solution he has left available to him. Would I have gone for an extra set of tires? I mean, his tires are 22 coming on lap 22. They're 14 laps old now. Maybe, but then it has to go green at the end of the race, or else I'm in a lot of trouble. The biggest issue he has is if he pits there and takes tires and it goes green, he's going to burn up his tires cutting through the field. Whereas everyone that's out ahead of him is just sort of going to stretch their legs, look after their tires, and sort of cover them off. So he's just in a world of pain. There is no right solution for the Matty Skulls to win puzzle.
See, I'm glad you understand the strategy. Because to me, I'm like, yeah, well, if there's another safety car...
You're right. But the problem is, if there's another safety car right now...
No, not now,
10,
but yeah, I see what you
10,
mean.
15 laps time, he pits and he's still dead last, like, on the lead lap. So he gains nothing by another safety car, which is why, in this position, he just stays at the front, because at least he's got some track position. There's going to be a couple cars he'll still have to keep behind him, or he'll be able to keep behind him. It's a difficult spot to be in terms of strategy, but sometimes you just got to commit. You're never gonna overwhelm 9 cars worth of track position, right? So you've just got to hope. You just got to pin yourself on it and hope.
Wincup the cat has dropped in and said it was actually Wincup the cat's fault because he accidentally unticked his tires.
I've got a cat sitting next to me. Do I want to stay away from her, keep her away from the keyboard? It's her birthday actually today.
Oh, happy birthday.
She got extra biscuits for breakfast this morning.
Densley! How did he hold that for so long? Oh my lord, yellow instantly.
This is exactly what Skullsy wants now, because it just brings everyone's strategy a little bit closer together. Oh. He's gained a couple cars on that restart.
Mate, what is going to happen? This is already getting intense.
This would be... to be perfectly honest with you, if this had gone 3 or 4 more laps and then the yellow comes out, pit, 100% pit, take fresh tires. Not even a hope.
Oh, this is interesting. Was there a little bump? This is the start of where Densley decided to go drifting across the field.
Matty Keynes dropped back to P3, so he didn't get a great getaway.
So this is just after the restart. Yep, right after the restart. There's a little bit of movement. Oh, that was definitely close. It did miss.
But the problem is that Blaine's come across his nose and then lifted.
And watch this. He did so well to hold this for as long as he did. It is just, look how long he had that sideways for.
And because he stayed in the gas, so normally when you're spinning, ladies and gentlemen, the general rule of thumb is that you hold the brakes. Why? Because the car's consistent. But what he's done there by staying in the gas is he's actually, when you grab the brakes, the car just continues in exactly the same direction that it's going. And in that position, the car's always going to go straight up the track. By staying in the gas, he's spun it to the bottom side of the track. He'll have hurt his tires a little bit more, but he saved the whole field. It's great driving.
Yeah, that was good. That could have been an absolute complete field wipeout just then. Matty's dropped in. Maybe shouldn't slide over the nose. We did just capture that on the replay, mate.
I mean, it's a tricky one. You don't come across somebody's nose and then check up like that, because they're always going to have the better line. But at the same time, like, Matty's got a difficult decision to make, because he either dives low and looks to get the spot back, but he was expecting Densley to sort of cover it. Maybe Densley just felt a little bit unsettled. Maybe the rear of the truck wasn't as glued down as Matty Keynes was, because remember, Matty Keynes has got a wider entry arc. He can maintain a little bit more throttle. But it's tricky. That's just a racing deal on that. You know, you can't come across somebody's nose and then lift out the gas like that. I mean, it's clear that Matty Keynes going to make the corner from there. You know, you lift out of the gas. That's about what I think Blaine would have expected to happen. He'd be disappointed about it for sure, but he's, you know, to the rear. His car's still all in one piece.
Yeah, everybody's cars are in one piece, and it's racing. Little mistakes are going to happen.
right call from Blaine to come back down pit lane and grab another fresh set of tires there. How
many sets of tires tonight?
3.
Three.
3 spare sets. So I think 3 additional sets.
So 1 and 3 makes 4.
Yeah, I believe so. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to check that out now.
Well, it's going to help with us trying to work out how a strategy chicken is going to play into this, because we have now just ticked over halfway. Guys, don't forget, if you are enjoying our broadcast, don't forget to hit that like button. If you aren't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't shared us with all your friends and family, do so. And back to you, Scotty.
3 sets of tires, including the set they started on.
Okay.
So 2 tire changes.
So 2 tire changes, right.
Yeah, which is how it's set up in the server.
So, how many sets of tires do you think we've... No, there's no way they would have run both sets already. That's way too early.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to commit to... But he went to the back, so in that case, remember how I was saying previously... remember how I said that Scalzi, you know, he should have stayed and hung on to track position.
Yeah.
Well... In this case, hang on, race control's actually just handling it. So, okay. So there's no further action on it. There's no penalty. There's been issued.
That's it.
Again, what we're talking about. That's where we landed. So, but effectively, Densley's had no track position, so he's come down and made a fuel advantage, right? I wouldn't take tires from there. I don't think anyone would be taking tires from there if they've only got 1 set left. So, I mean, right strategy call.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm just going to say that because I'm just going to agree with you and sound like I know what I'm talking about.
At least you admit it.
Yeah.
Schultz has got control of the field once again.
Yeah, we are.
That's a really good getaway. This would be critical. Keane got an even getaway with Clayton Davies to his outside, so...
Oh, mate. I'm excited.
Davies has got a great launch. So remember, race leader, the guy that was leading the race is back in front of the race, but the guy that was leading the race prior to the green flag pit stops is now back in 4th.
Yeah, Matty Keane's in 4th. We've got Clayton Davies here on the rear right of Glenn McLeod with Matty Keane right there as well, pushing up. Oh, mate, do I love seeing some good close racing.
I mean, that's all there is in NASCAR trucks, isn't it?
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
And look at the trucks fanning out in the corners. They're using all the lanes, right? Perfect. Great job by Matty Keane. Slots into the draft lane. Now he'll get crisscrossed. Davies is going to try and get back to the bottom. But Keane's looking for the momentum, and he's got that now. So he just dives it straight into the corner. Whoa, Davies was deep there. Oh, he's got to the outside. That's perfect. So so Densley's had a really tough time trying to get that truck to turn in, and he probably won't be 100% certain why. And the reason why is because there was a truck on his outside rear, inside his splitter. It was dumping a whole bunch of dirty air up on the outside splitter, which makes the truck have no grip at the right rear corner of the tire. Remember, we talked about side drafting in previous weeks. Side drafting is you put your nose up in a certain position alongside the car to dump a whole bunch of air and sit it on the blade of that rear wing, right? It's the same concept, except for you're only dumping it on one side. You're not trying to scrub off their momentum in the corners. In the corners, they're trying to just get grip to the rear of the truck. And when you dump it on the right rear corner, which is the loaded corner of the truck, the truck just doesn't want to turn. It doesn't want to plant. It just wants to go straight up the track, which makes the truck not turn in, loses you a whole bunch of time. So that's exactly what's happened to Clayton Davies there. And he wouldn't have even known. Truck's getting really tight, chasing it up the racetrack, because he's a very good driver, very talented, would have tried to keep the truck to the bottom of the racetrack right there. And it's just drifted up. So that's something that's happened as well. So Matty Keane's now got back to P2. I actually didn't know that about air, and how important air is to a big, heavy truck that has a blade for a wing.
Oh, it's sort of similar to boat racing as well. It's the wash coming off the either side of the boat that as it cuts through. So the air's doing the same.
Yeah, it's just that you can see it in a boat. You know, that's the whole point.
That's true.
But the other thing is with a boat, you're getting wash on both sides of the boat, right? You can see it coming out from both sides of the boat. Well, it's as if somebody's turned all the wash on one side. The boat will sort of start to lean. Except for it's, different because gravity's pushing you down into the surface.
Whereas you can't see the air, and the air is just dumping dirty draft right onto you.
Whoa, Skullsy's really struggling on those old tyres now, I can tell you that much.
Well, he's
not losing a huge amount of time.
He's right behind Parmeter, or about a second behind, and we're on board with Parmeter right now.
Just going to keep looking after those tyres. He'll be 100%. Skulls will be the first to pit, because he cannot wait. I mean, the other option is he goes flip-flop and hopes for a late caution. We saw how difficult the truck was to drive.
Oh!
That's what he needs.
And there it is. Man, those guys were close. Brake, Kenny, brake. What is happening? Oh, no. Look, Kenny just kept going. Confused there. And then Densley pinched off the wall and just like a marble hitting concrete, launched out into traffic. It's going to be an interesting one for race control, I think.
30 laps to the end. Guess what the distance was on our first green flag run?
30 laps.
I think it's a no-brainer.
So this was just close racing.
But he can't disappear. He's still got the overlap there.
What I was interested in is that they're both still just holding the accelerator, and then Kenny goes and just keeps going. Oh, Pete! Mr. Morris. Oh, geez, he did well to hold on to that.
I mean, the caution's not out until much, much later.
Oh, Pete. It's all right, mate. You're going to need a pit stop eventually, mate.
I need to go back and have a look at that one to see when...
Oh, gosh. Blaine's truck is not happy at all. That is not good. I'm still interested in why neither of them got on, like, slowed. Sort of what I'm looking at here is that they both sort of look like they were still just into it with the power. Especially as you can see when Densley moves away, Luke Kenny is still pedal to the metal out of there. So I'm not sure. I'm not race control.
So the critical thing I'm trying to figure out is when does the caution come out? Because whilst they're still up in that barrier, it's still green lights on the wall, and there's lights right around the track that sort of denote what the current track state is. They don't use a lot of flags. It's basically the flags are just a flag stand. Right. But there are lights around most tracks.
I will tell you at 36 minutes, 46 seconds, and 25 hundredths on lap 50 is when the yellow flag was raised.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to line that up with the information that I have on the walls. Okay, so there's the yellow. I can see the yellow's out now.
That's got Maddie in first. All right, refresh on the positions here with this yellow flag. Maddie Keen's made into first. Glenn McLeod is now in second. Clayton Davies third. Darren Palmer fourth. Proctor fifth. Michael Locke sixth. Aiden, our championship leader at the moment, in seventh place.
So this is a strategy course. This is strategy chicken. So again, if there's another caution that happens in about 10 laps time, anyone that's pit under this caution, done. Dead in the water. Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
However, if we go green from here to the end, now remembering we've had 2 cautions just recently, so that's extended the fuel mileage quite significantly. Everyone that's under the green flag here will be save. But they're only going to get to about, I'd say, like 65, 67, 68 at the end. absolute most. That's going to give them about, what's that, 12 laps to the end that they need to make. So they need a caution here in the next 14 laps. They need another caution in the next 14 laps. Ultimately, the closer to that 14 laps, the better. If it comes out on lap 13, perfect. That's what all of these guys want. What has Skullsy done here? I think Skullsy's come down. So he's made his bed, and the benefit for him here is that Schultz pit. So now he's in with the same chance, he's on the same strategy, and he's going to be restarting right behind his championship rival. Must win situation here for Skulls.
Yep.
But he's got fresh rubber here, and if something happens, he's just going to look after those tires. He can't get mega aggressive. Just sit on those tires. Just be very, very cautious on those tires, because if he can save more tire and this lead pack gets that caution that they need, all of a sudden this championship is wide open. Anyone can win it. These guys are good to the end on fuel now. So the first car to pit is Schultz in 7th. 6 cars did not pit. 6.
Wow. Strategy chicken is in play. Why am I so excited for this?
Now for Matty Skulls, I actually reckon he had one of the cars with the most amount of fuel on board. So he should have stayed out, I think, there, because he would have gone a lot longer than the rest of the field, which would have put him in a perfect situation. But he's pit there. That's not a bad call. Like, I mean, you were either committing either way. If we get another caution here, all of a sudden the cars that didn't pit are in a really, really strong position, but they needed to go about 5 laps, minimum of 5 laps, to get some benefit out of this. Anything less than 5 laps is not good.
And we are green. Get that caution sign off, ShiBBy. And we are off again. I don't believe we actually talked. Oh, wow. The boys are into it already.
Whoa!
Oh, Team Riley, a huge wreck! It wouldn't be a championship round without a massive wreck.
And Skulls got through it. Skulls got through it.
Woo.
Schultz caused it. Schultz made contact. So this is old tires versus new tires. He's got a lot of damage on the front end of that truck.
All right, on board. Hello, cameras. On board for the replay now. You can see Schultz just bumps. Is that Matty or... Whoa. Wait,
Oh,
did T. Riley... Was that Netco?
He lost it on his own.
Oh.
He lost it on his own. No, because cold tires. So T. Riley pit under that last caution.
And there's Skulls right there. Just squeezing through.
Now this extends it out just a little bit further, a little bit further.
What happened?
Now if I'm...
Watch this. Watch how hard his truck veers to the right for no reason.
No, it's because cold tires. So if you go on board with his cockpit, that'll tell the story. So roll it back, roll it back. See? He's bailed out of the throttle. So what's happened and why the truck snapped? So cold tires, right? We've all seen cars on cold tires just push straight on. In NASCAR trucks, it's actually the opposite. They tend to rotate quite heavily. They've got a lot of weight on the front. They've got a lot of grip pushing that front end of the truck into the ground. So he'll just pick up the throttle a little bit and start turning in a little bit. So see there, he starts to bobble with the steering wheel and he stays in the throttle. Now he'll start to bail out of the throttle, but he's overcorrecting. He's lifted all the way out of the throttle, which means there's nothing keeping the slip in. Those rear tires just bite, and he just goes straight up the track. That right there is the principle behind motorcycle high slides, if you've ever seen them.
Wow. I gotta say, Mr. Morris, his onboard is gonna be pretty crazy. Mr. Morris coming from the back of the pack, racing his own race, having fun out there like he always does. We can watch this happen right in front of him.
Here we go. Here we go. Skulls.
Oh.
Here's P2.
Whee. Woohoo. Skulls is made up into P2.
Oh! Oh! And race controls just issued an end-of-line penalty to Aiden Schultz. So at this point in time,
unless there's
Skulls,
another big wreck,
Skulls might win the championship.
he might get the inaugural boat ramp trophy. Wow. And we didn't talk about the points earlier, guys, but this is how close it is. So, starting from first place in the championship points right now, Aiden Schultz is on 312 points. Every round, you will get 50 points for first place. So, Aiden Schultz is on 312. Matty Skulls is only 302 behind.
That's a lot of points, but 10 points behind is what you mean.
Oh, yeah, 10 points behind. I meant to say he's on 302 points.
Hang on, I gotta go digging. Where's my my points lookup table?
Oh my gosh. And then Hayden Norris is on 293 points. Thomas Riley, 287. Glenn McLeod, 282. Matty Keane, 280. The top 6 are all in this.
That's a tough call from race control, because you could argue that the caution's actually caused by the car on the outside.
Look, we're not going to discuss race control calls on stream.
No. I'm saying, like, it's the right and wrong call at the same time. It's just, what do you define as the point of caution? What the thing that triggers the caution?
Yeah.
Ultimately, he has spun a car, so if that's what the penalty's for,
then
so 50 points for a win, 47 for third, 44 for 47 for second, 44 for third, 42 for fourth, and then 1 point further down. So the top 3 places is worth 3 points benefit. So first to second, second to third is worth 3 points each place. After that, it's only worth 2 back to fourth, and then it's worth 1 per spot. So he'd need to finish. If he finishes second, he gets 3 extra bonus points, effectively. He would still need to finish another 7 spots ahead of Schultz. And if Schultz gains any spots, that changes the map. If Skulls wins, that changes the math, because that adds an extra 2 bonus points effectively. So it is tight. Very, very tight now. Great launch from Densley.
Clean right racing again. Maybe for the last time. Not many laps to go now. 20 to be precise.
Skulls has lost 2 spots. Maybe the third. Yeah, probably going to be the third.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have enjoyed our championship round broadcast tonight, don't forget to hit that like button to let us know. Also, let us know in the comments. And let us know, will you be returning to the boat ramp on a Monday night for our podcast in the year, is it 2023 next year? It is too. I was going to say 2024. God.
But yeah, we're just going to take a whole year off. We'll see you in 2024.
Yeah, we'll see you in 2024, guys. Someone else to do this, I swear.
Densley's going hard. I'm a little worried about his tyres, though. Skulls has not had a lot of laps. There's been next to no racing laps on these tyres. So effectively, the field is equalised. Palmer got a huge wiggle on through the middle of turn 3 and 4.
Oh, he's also blinking a little
Struggling
bit.
with connection, yeah.
That's the thing with esports, guys. This does happen. All right, we're getting off Palmer because it's making my eyes hurt. We've got Clayton Davies on the back.
Something's happened to Clayton. Because he lifted a long way out. Did he get loose on the way into the tournament? Loose oversteering? Slidey?
So, yeah, Glenn's gotten past him. Not that I saw anything, mate.
I think Glenn McLeod's actually up there in terms of the points as well.
I have it open right now, mate. He is sitting in 5th place with 282 points.
So this could be a player getting Glenn up 2 spots. He would need to earn 11 more points than Aiden Norris into P3. But it could be a play for that, the team working together.
Look at the pack behind them all.
Schultz has gotten back up to 8. So Schultz would have the championship where he sits. But this is going to go down to the last lap. And the biggest, most important thing right now is how much tyre is Skulls saving. He was just fast. The only cars that were faster than him were not many cars actually at all. So he's faster than McLeod and Davies directly ahead of him. So he's starting to close that margin. Densley matched him. Keen's just set his fastest lap of the race. The dead heat for the fastest lap of the race? Are you kidding? You seeing that?
Exactly to the T. There is no difference in that at all, even on my timing tower.
No, it's, yeah, 33.068.
Perfectly on point for the fastest lap right now. We got Skull. Wait, that's Parmenter behind. What?
Now, critically, just in behind Matty Keen, this is the Lucky Dog battle. So this isn't actually a battle for position on the track. That's Aiden Norris and Luke Kenny. I believe that's the Lucky Dog battle. Don't quote me on that. No, it's not. That's between Nathan Allen and Andrew Proctor. So those two are actually out of it. Yeah.
So these guys are just out here having a good bit of fun. Shout out to that guy on the front of that windscreen right there. I've heard him is an awesome dude.
Which one? Oh, the one on the windscreen.
The one on the windscreen, yeah.
The banner at the top.
The banner, yeah. I've heard there's one on the back of that truck too. Pretty awesome.
Yeah,
dude
don't
too.
look at that one. That guy did a whole bunch of racing yesterday.
Did you stream it? And if you did I miss it?
I did.
Ah. What was
I streamed for like 6 hours, 6.5 hours.
Oh, mate, I missed it. What day was yesterday? Oh, Sunday. Yeah, I had a big Saturday.
Yeah, you had family time going.
Yep. And the World Cup was on that night too, so.
Ooh. Australia have a shot at getting out of that pool, which
We just got to beat Denmark or draw. That's it.
Well,
Denmark,
I mean,
Denmark are in a must-win situation. That's what it's coming down to.
The best part is, there's still a way that Tunisia gets out of the pool.
Yeah, but they're not beating France.
Well,
yeah.
we weren't beating Tunisia either, were we?
Well, yeah. It's a tough one. I feel like we were more geared to beat Tunisia than we were ever going to be for France and Denmark. So
look, you can talk soccer to me, and I'll talk ovals to you.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I'm actually taking futsal off this week. It is the championship round, so Mr. ShiBBy here is going to jump on and broadcast as much as I can this week for the championship. So hope you're all pumped for that.
Christmas.
You heard what?
Pocket money for Christmas is why you're doing it.
Yeah, pocket money for Christmas. That's true. Yeah, but we've also got Rob, Sainted Lord, on board, and he's going to do a couple of broadcasts for us this week as well in readiness for next year. So
don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you are actually a streamer or you can do streaming, can do cameras, always apply to the leader, always looking for new streamers. ShiBBy can actually get out there and race.
Or work on other things, because there's never a dull moment.
No, get out there and race. Get out there and race.
Well, look, I still haven't been confirmed if the Radicals are coming back or not.
What?
Well, I haven't got a schedule confirmed yet.
Which reminds me, I need to actually get the truck schedule.
Yeah.
Next year.
We need to, get onto that admin team.
So Luke Kenny's actually starting to cause a little bit of uproar with where he is at the moment, because he's driven his way all the way back up to third, effectively behind the lead. Well, he's, 2 behind the leader, right? If he can get to Densley and overtake him, he gets to 1 lap down. There's another caution that comes out. He races back through. He might actually get a lucky dog and get himself back on the lead lap. He's in a unique position. And there was a few guys that were like, get out of my way, you're a lap car. I'm sorry, that's NASCAR.
That's NASCAR. Yeah,
that's
you don't
NASCAR.
have to get out of the way. You race your race right to the finish. Oh, Schultz has just got past Parmenter as well now. He's now up in his 6th.
Yeah, it's running away, unfortunately, from Skulls. He's going to need a miracle. What's Wing Cup got left in the bag of tricks?
Well, it seems like all night Win Cup has actually been causing him to not do well.
Gets sacked. New team manager needed.
Yep. Don't trust a cat.
Alternatively, get a 5-point harness and strap Win Cup's paws in. So you can't cause mischief.
That's true.
Keen's starting to respond. Keen's coming back at him. Yeah, I'd say his tires done. He's driven. He's thrown everything he possibly can at these guys, and it's just not come off.
You're right, Tyson. Denmark aren't playing the best, but that could all change over the next, we got a week until our next game with Denmark,
So here's my problem with the World Cup. It's such a short format tournament.
That's what makes it so exciting, though.
Could you imagine if they added an extra month to the tournament, right? And they played home and away games in the pool?
Yeah, it would be a cool idea, but the way it's done is for the excitement factor.
100%. It creates some amazing upsets.
Yeah, it's that whole, once you're in the group stages, it's knockout. It's do or die, you know what I mean? So, oh, Matty Keane is right on the back of Skulls now. We've also got Palmer on the back of Aiden, so
So Matty Keane, I will say, did say before the race that he's out here, he's just racing for himself tonight, but he's not going to get involved in this championship fight. So I think he just wants to sit right there. He's happy to follow Skulls home.
Well, he's in 6th right now in the points table.
He's had some banging races.
He has had an amazing season. If you have a look here, yeah, Palmer is right on the edge of Schultz. So Schultz is dropping off now.
Well, see, Schultz doesn't need a gangbusters performance. This is enough. So I think Schultz is just backing it down, looking after the tires, just in case there's a caution. Because if he's got fresh tires and that caution comes out and bunches the pack up, he's got a shot. But if he doesn't save tire and a caution comes out, anything can happen.
Yeah.
We're 3 laps from the end. We're so close now, though.
Yeah, we're so close. Oh, come on, NASCAR overtime. Championship round. I don't think it's going to happen.
It'd be a restart with everyone on old tires, too.
And that would be insane.
Remember, if they get back to the white flag, it's over. It's got to happen.
Oh, Keane's pipped Skulls now.
This is where you get the momentum back on the high side. See how he just can't clear him? He's trying. He'll get there. But he's wearing tire whilst ever he's down on that bottom. So his tires are just eking out, eking out. It's getting harder and harder. Now he's got him cleared, so he's got to slide up in front of him here. And then Skulls should either push him along or swap back down. And yeah, so this is really good racecraft.
Oh, I'm excited for next year.
Go, Skullsy. Just get back into it on the bottom, son.
Yeah. Foot to the floor, mate. All the way. Densley and McLeod are gone. They're out of there.
Pete Morris has just dropped the lap.
There's Densley. Look at the gap he's got in McLeod. Massive gap. And then Clayton Davies as well. Oh, in the wall for Clayton Davies. Just bounced off it there.
He's got damage on the left side of the truck as well.
Yeah, he does.
So that's multiple bits and pieces of contact. This is starting to play itself back to Skullsy. Keane might get out there and try and disrupt things. That's him right there. He's lurking in the water. White flag's out. That's it. This is it. This is the last lap of the season. We cannot get NASCAR overtime now.
Mate, I'm going to... Oh. You better get onto that points table quick. I want to know.
I can guarantee you with how it sits, Schultz is locked in. It's not even close.
As first place?
Locked in.
Locked in as the champion.
Keane. Skulls had to finish on the podium.
Oh, he was one off. One spot off. He just couldn't get Clayton Davies. And that's Densley over the line. Glenn McLeod in second place. Clayton Davies in third. Matty Skulls in fourth. Matty Keane fifth. Darren Palmer to 6th. Aiden Schul 7th. Michael Locke 8th. Andrew Proctor 9th. Nathan Allen 10th. Luke Kenny in 11th. Hayden Norris in 12th. Peter Morris in 13th. The T. Riley, the T. Rain in 14th. And Darren Robb in 15th.
I tell you what, Glenn McLeod has managed to scrap P3 in the last race of the season.
Wait.
He has.
McLeod has ended up in 3rd for the overall championship.
Maybe. It comes down to the drop rounds.
Well, start typing away, mate. Get those points in. I should show the guys who won actually doing burnouts. It's so hard. There's so many guys doing burnouts. Here we go.
So I'm just going to punch it in manually.
Don't hurt it.
Schultz finished 7th.
Where are the rest of these boys ripping?
God, I hate it. I really want to set these cells to read from text because everything's set up to read from text.
Sounds like a you problem and something you should work out.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Anyway, guys, while Scotty works on this, again, I'd like to thank DSL Welding, our naming rights sponsor for our Season 4 of the DSL Welding NASTRUCKS for 2022. This has been your championship round hosted at Homestead, Miami. And if you guys have enjoyed this broadcast and want to see more next year, hit that like button. Tell your friends about us. Tell your family about us. Share us.
Norris finished 12th. Yeah, I think he might have done it. It comes down to what the drop rounds are. We got Thomas Riley finished 14th. Got stuck 2 laps down. Glenn McLeod finished 2nd. Matt Keane finished 5th. So the way that I've got it all coded is that it'll calculate the drop rounds. So it does all of this automatically. So all I'm going to do is just pump in what place that they get, provided that I get the numbers in there. It's going to mess up everyone else's standings just for the meanwhile, but it means that I can get the results in. I don't think I need to count any further back than Blaine Densley.
We just need our top 3.
Well, here's the thing. Tonight is Thomas Riley's drop round. Tonight becomes Aiden Norris's drop round, and that's critical. He might actually have it. Glenn McLeod, oh my god. Oh my word.
The points are getting exciting here, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around to find out who is going to be your championship for Season 4.
I've got it. The results are in. The results are in, and there is absolutely nothing in the battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th. There is nothing in that battle. Nothing whatsoever. So like we said, Schultz will win the championship. He does it by 7 points. 351 plays 344 for Matty Skulls. In P3, it came down to drop rounds. Glenn McLeod missed a race. He missed 1 race, and it was Texas, which was 2 weeks ago. Hayden Norris has not missed a round, and tonight had his worst result of the season. So that became his drop round. His previous worst finish, actually he equaled his worst finish tonight. Equaled his worst finish. So if he'd finished any further back than 12th, wouldn't have mattered. He would have gotten 12th place points, effectively. Thomas Riley finishes in 14th, which is his worst result of the season. So he effectively picked up for his finish tonight his previous worst result, which was 8th. He's finished 8th twice. So one of those 8s now counts, and his 14th tonight doesn't. Okay, let's talk in terms of the final finishing orders. On 325 points in P5 for the season, Thomas Riley.
Well done, T. Riley. Well done, mate.
2 points better off. 2 points. In P4, Hayden Norris. In P3, 2 points better off from Hayden on 329 points of Glenn McLeod. He snatches P3 in the championship from P5 on the last race. Needed to claw back 11 points and got 13 back tonight. So it's championship. That's it.
So Glenn McLeod in 3rd place for the championship. Well, speaking of, let's get him into the comms box and have a chat to him.
We'll start with Clayton. Clayton finished P3 tonight.
Oh, did Clayton? Oh, I thought you said Glenn. Wait.
Yeah, Glenn McLeod finished
I
P3
thought
in
we
the
were doing
championship.
the overall championship.
Yeah. We'll do the podium for tonight first. We'll move on to that afterwards.
Okay. We're just
Clayton, tough and tricky race here tonight. Obviously, you had some incidents with some lap traffic in the later racing, but that's just NASCAR, man. I mean, they're allowed to go out there and earn their lap back, and he got close. Luke Kenny actually did a phenomenal job trying to get his lap back there at the end.
I wouldn't say it's a phenomenal job in my personal opinion. I think like when you look at the laps and what's going on with people racing for track positions, like yeah, sure you're allowed to do that, but like common sense is that you don't try and get.
Well, a caution flies, man. A caution.
Yeah, well,
if he gets back past the leader and a caution flies, he's got his lap back. Like,
but even if then, he's still got lucky dog because he'd be the lead car on the lead lap. But
that's 2 laps back
part of
potentially. It has stranger things have happened. I can actually say from personal experience, I've actually done that where, Pete Baxter, who's taking over control of our IndyCar series, got in front of the lead pack of an IndyCar race as the caution flew, got 1 lap back and got the lucky dog, got 2 laps back under the 1 caution. So stranger things have happened, but yeah, it's just something to stick in the toolbox and sort of, think about in future. Homestead, Miami, not quite an out and out short track. A track whereby 4 effectively lanes of racing were open, bottom, middle, top. We saw you try and run, I think, that middle groove for a lot of the night. Did you feel more comfortable there compared to up at the top? It's quite difficult to run the wall. Blaine made contact with the wall, running the wall earlier on in the evening.
I kind of felt comfortable everywhere. As I said in last week, I don't drive these cars really too much, so like it all felt pretty much the same to me. I just tried to conserve tires as much as I did, and I honestly thought we had something towards the end until that incident. But we thought we had another couple of tenths in it, and yeah, I'm still a bit salty on that move. Me personally, I probably wouldn't have done that especially when the person wasn't clear. But yeah, no, there's plenty of lanes to choose from. I just didn't choose the right one.
In terms of things, the championship as a whole looks like it was a ton of fun. Unfortunately, obviously, you guys picked up on it a little bit later on within the season, and didn't get in there early on. But I have a feeling that's going to change for 2023. It seems like you guys are really, really enjoying the NASCAR trucks.
I missed a fair few rounds because I was qualifying for World Championship, so I had to put my focus onto that. And now that we're in World Championship, that I can come back and fight because I've got a little bit more spare time. But for the races I did run, they were fun. It was good to actually just have a chill out area with like Blaine and Glennie and a few of the other dirt guys, and just come out and chill out and run something that's not really super competitive for me, or something that I focus on being number 1 in, and just actually being able to enjoy the sim for what it is. And it's fun.
In terms of things, I think that was probably the most intricate race in terms of the pit lane strategy that we've had all season long. We were talking about when you would come down pit lane, why you would come down pit lane, what the go is with the tires, and what those criteria were. Was there any sort of decisions that were made? Obviously, you guys all came under lap. Sorry, my apologies. My phone has decided that it's now going to play videos when it wasn't before. There was a little bit of a difference up and down the field in terms of pit lane strategy, when you were going to come down pit lane, why you were going to come down pit lane. Did the track position versus fresh rubber scenario start to make a lot more sense after seeing a race like that? Because that's the first time we've really seen that.
I just try to I don't know. I'm still kind of, as I said, new to these. So like, my idea was to just try and get get to the critical lap on fuel, and just kind of keep tires under me until then. Like I don't usually push too hard unless I have to. And then once we got to critical lap, which was around 50, between 52 and 53, I was able to focus on pushing and use up that fresh rubber. But yeah, I don't really know too much on how to do too much strategy. I pretty much go whenever Blaine tells me to pit.
How do you know what he's telling you is right?
I just take his word for it. He's a rocket ship in these things, and he's proven himself. I think this is 3 or 4 round wins that he's got, I think. And when it comes to this kind of stuff, he knows what he's talking about. So it's a time for me to take a page out of his book instead of the other way around.
I mean, it's one of those things where until you start getting yourself involved in the conversations, you don't really understand what would be the bits and pieces that make a decision like this, what goes into making a decision like this, and why you would actually make that decision. So I hope a few of those pieces start to click into place next season, and who knows, maybe you'll teach Blaine a few strategy lessons.
Maybe one day.
Well, congratulations anyway for tonight, Clayton, on the 3rd place. The floor is yours to thank everyone.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for putting on the league and broadcast every week. 27 Designs, Blaine did an awesome job on this truck paint for this series. Western Machine Shop, Atlantic Oil, 3D Cinematography, and yeah, just thanks for having me here for the series.
Well, thank you very much for taking part, Blaine. Clayton. We'll see you again next season. It's been an absolute pleasure having you around, and yeah, as you know, it's been awesome. Just the battles have been phenomenal, and can't wait to see it all again next season.
Thanks, buddy.
Well done, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Right, so that's P3 for tonight's race. We'll move on to P number 2. We'll interview him once, we'll let him go, and then we'll interview him again in a few moments' time. Glenn, mate, we'll focus on P2 tonight. Strategy calls, strategy chicken. It's all about knowing when to pit right. But first and foremost, you've got to put yourself in a position to get there. And it looked like that truck of yours was just all about track positioning in that early phases of the race. Look after the tires, keep the truck alive. And you seem to come out all right on the other end of it.
Yeah, I was just I don't want to say playing it safe, but just trying to survive as usual. Just keep it as clean as I could. I think Davies and I had a bit of a touch on lap 1, which put me back a little bit, checked me up a little bit. But yeah, it was just pretty much keep it going, just survive. Yeah, and I had a couple of good runs there with Tom Riley and I can't remember the other guy, but there was a bit of a 3 or 4 of us I think there for quite a few laps, so we're just on each other and trying to pass each other. But yeah, it was a good race. I quite enjoyed that.
First really super strategy heavy race that we've actually seen this season. The whole attempt, I went out with something different this season in terms of the race setups. You would have noticed it. There was only 2 extra sets of tires the whole season long, and I shortened the fuel windows. Did you enjoy the change in the strategy? Did you enjoy to finally see a strategy race really play out in the latter stages at the end of the season?
I did, yes. I certainly enjoyed that aspect. I knew probably around 4 or 5 that something was starting to repeat itself, so I knew we would get between 25 and 30 laps to a tank. So if we got to a magic number, then I knew we could make it to the end of the race. So yeah, that first pit stop, I undercut Tom there by a lap and cleared him by a fair bit, so that played into my favour. But yeah, it's all in learning. I'm still learning the strategy side of things, but yeah, quite enjoyed it. The other boys were stressing about it. I know Blano tends to overthink it quite a lot, but if you know what you're doing, you know where to go, where to pit, yeah, you should have a good race.
Well, here, I'll give you a tip for next season. There's 3 things that you got to think about in terms of the strategy. Track position, fuel, tires. Fuel matters the least of a lot of them, unless you can't make the end. That's the only time that fuel actually matters. The other 2 are the critical ones. If you haven't got track position, you want to make sure you got rubber. If you've got rubber, try and get track position. Other than that, look after your tires, do what you can. It's sort of this really weird playing game. You've got to be. I know when you go to the shorter tracks, I've won quite a few races by being the first one to make my last pit stop, even though it's NASCAR truck, and that doesn't make sense. At shorter tracks where overtaking is difficult, that's your critical marker. When the overtaking is really, really tough, first one to make my last pit stop and look after the tires like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Where the overtaking is a fair bit easier, you want to be the last one to make your last pit stop. You want to give yourself 15 laps to make the overtakes, though. Because if everyone's already done their stops, you will go to the tail end of the field. If 3 cars have done their stops, you're going to come out 4th.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like even to that last pit stop, Davies was coming for me, and I was shaking a little bit because he's obviously a iRacing Dirt Pro series, so he likes to get chapstick on me every time. So I finally had the edge on him for once. That's it. It's all about strategy and whatnot. I quite enjoyed this race and this season, to be honest. These last 3 seasons have been something to look forward to on a Monday night, that's for sure.
Mate, it's been bang up having you. I mean, the racing, the enjoyment I'm getting out of it is seeing everyone's driver behavior change. Like, if I'd have sat down and said to you 2 seasons ago, you'd be having a very intense close battle with Darren Palmer, I think a few people would have looked at me and gone, are you for real? Are you a little bit funny in the head? But Darren drove his wheels off tonight. There's a few guys out there. Michael Locke's come a long way. Andrew Proctor, Nate Allen has changed his tune. You know, there's a whole bunch of different guys. There's a few guys that went backwards there tonight. So how awesome is it seeing the entire field develop at a whole bunch of different circuits?
Oh, it's awesome. Just seeing everyone's strong circuits and weak circuits. It's just like I said, it's just a lot of fun to come racing on a Monday night. Something a bit different. I guess I'm not really that new anymore to Oval Series, but I enjoy it. I'll buy the track just to race SRW if that's need be. Unfortunately I couldn't make Texas last week. One of my better tracks in my opinion, but everyone, I saw Darren in my rearview mirror there for a bit, and he was giving me a run for me money for a little bit there, but to see everyone's skill improve as the season goes on, and have, limited to 2 or 3 cautions per race, it's bloody awesome, that's for sure.
Mate, thank you very much for all of your involvement so far, and the floor is all yours to thank everyone that makes it possible for you, mate.
Firstly, thank you to you both, Scotty and ShiBBy. I don't usually get time to listen to podcasts, but I always make sure to have a listen to yours on a Tuesday, that's for sure. Joe Daly, Logan Barnett, Send Sim Sports, the guys over there. And Blano, Davies for jumping in this season, Hobbsy and Shoot as well, but unfortunately they couldn't make it tonight. And our little cheer girl, Braden Miller as well. He deserves a shout out as well.
Mate, thank you very much for taking part, and I want to say a big shout out to you as well. You've managed to pick up P3 in the championship in that last race, mate. That's phenomenal.
No way. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Squeezed it in by 2 points, mate.
By 2 points.
2 points.
Yeah,
wow.
there was.
I thought I was done.
There was 4 points that covered third back to fifth. So it was 2 points to you, from you to Norris, and 2 points back to Thomas Riley.
Oh, that's awesome. That's wicked.
All right, mate. Well, congratulations on P3 in the championship. Go back, sit back, celebrate, maybe do some practice over Christmas this year.
Yeah, well, I got a bit on over Christmas, so we'll see you next season. See you next year, boys. Thanks for that.
Mate, congratulations. We'll see you next year.
Thanks, guys.
Finally, we'll move on to our winner of tonight's race. Ladies and gentlemen, driver number 27, it's Blaine Densley. Blaine, how about that? From Miami, winning it in a place known for its celebrations. It feels like there'll be a little bit of celebrating at the end of the season there for you.
Mate, that race had a bit of everything, didn't it? Far out.
Long green flag runs to kick things off, a little bit of tyre saving, a little bit of tyre strategy, a little bit of pit strategy chicken. We did see a few trucks pit very, very early, and you opted to go as long as you possibly could on that first run.
Yeah, I can't even remember the first half of the race, to be honest. There's so much going on at the back half. I was actually really lucky that I got crashed out twice, and the 2 times that I got crashed out, I went to pits and got my fast repair and got my new tyres, and it was was like the perfect strategy. So everyone sort of got neutralized on that last restart. Everyone had fresh tires, everyone had full fuel, and everything else was ready to go. So really the whole first part of that race didn't even matter in the end. It was all about that last 30 laps. But yeah, it was a bit intense. I didn't know how I was going to go at the start. After the first incident, well, actually, that's right. I hit the wall at the start, didn't I? I
You
bloody
did.
went high,
Yep.
back the wall, let the
Yeah, we
whole
saw
field
that.
go past.
You
Yeah,
did see
I
it,
just
yep.
remember. And that's where I lost all my track position. So I just had to manage a bent car for the start and got my first fast repair, my first set of tires nice and early to fix the car, and then had to, just play out the yellows in the end and try and get through some traffic.
How nervous does it make you? Because obviously, I mean, you're quite confident from a dirt sprint car point of view in running that high line, being right up against that barrier and having a lot of confidence that you know exactly how the truck's going to perform. NASCARs are a lot faster, and they have this thing called the air cushion up against the barriers where there's a pocket of air that sort of settles itself against the barrier. Were you able to feel a little bit of that pocket of air tonight? Perhaps some of those drafting techniques and bits and pieces. We actually talk about cars being tight on each other as well and how that affects the aero. It's a tricky balance compared to the sprint car. It's completely foreign.
Yeah, I thought I was pretty good at it in practice until I went into turn one of the race and absolutely sprayed it into the wall. But after that, yeah, I can feel it. It took me a while to sort of, when iRacing updated that model to bring that in, I spent a little bit of time on it with the Cup car. That's what I was sort of focusing on at the time. And it's tricky because it's kind of there, but it's so subtle that you almost can't feel it. But yeah, there is a feeling that I can get through the steering wheel on entry. The car just sort of tightens up, and you can just feel it sort of getting squished into the wall a little bit. And from there, once you get that feeling, the steering wheel doesn't really move. You just have to kind of throttle it around the radius of the corner. So it's easy to get wrong, but once you've done it a few times, it's pretty easy to sort of get right as well.
Well, mate, it's been a long season, obviously missing a few of the first rounds, and that's ultimately what's going to cost you towards the tail end of it. But there's been win after win after win. I'm counting, 1, 2, 3, 4 by the tail end of the championship. Driver with the most wins all season long. It's obviously quite tough to sort of sit back and go, yeah, things didn't work out the way that perhaps I wanted, but that's a lot of results, a lot of experience in the car, experience that'll all go into 2023.
Yeah, I'm excited to come back and run the next championship for sure. There's a lot of guys in here that, even though the car counts are quite low, some of the guys at the front there are quite competitive and push you really hard. So hopefully next season there can be a few more of those sorts of guys that can be right at the front. And I think this race showed that there's probably a few that are starting to step up in this current field as well, like Glennie, and they'll be right up there next season. And it should be really close racing. And yeah, obviously missing the first couple of rounds sort of put me out of the championship contention, but maybe that's why I was able to just go out and win a few races. There wasn't really any risk of losing a championship by being a bit outlandish with some strategy. I think we've seen a lot this season. So, maybe it helped me get those wins, or maybe it was, just laps, just some pace. But next season we all start on zero, so we'll just have to see how it all pans out.
And mate, finally, it's been awesome from sun up to sundown. Is there any chance that you'll perhaps be applying your tricks of the trade to something with a fair bit more downforce? The IndyCars coming to the Sim Racing World platform next season. Does that pique the interest?
Oh yeah, I can't say I've done much IndyCar stuff, but yeah, I'm keen to give it a crack. I really enjoyed this series, so I can't see why I wouldn't want to do a bit more.
Mate, congratulations tonight on the victory. Your opportunity to thank everyone that makes it possible for you.
Yeah, first of all, I'd just like to thank all the boys in Discord, Glennie, Clayton, Miller, and all the rest of the boys that come in and help out and race with us all the time. My sponsors, B&B Retaining Walls and Helmut Helmet Design, and CD Cinematography, and my own 27 Custom Graphics, and all my customers and everyone that supports me.
Mate, congratulations on the final win of the season. Go out and celebrate and enjoy the run down the flag. Glenn's walked away with P3 in the championship, so the team can't be too upset at the end of the night, mate.
Nah, happy days. See you guys. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Blake Gently, winner of tonight's final round of the season. We'll now move on into our championship standings and celebrations. Unfortunately, Matty Skulls has had to run away, and that will be the end of him. We've already spoken to Glenn, who's finished in P3 overall. The only person really left to talk to is going to be Mr. Aiden Schultz, who is our 2023 Sunset Season champion. Is he there? Aiden, you there?
Yeah, I've got a copy.
Mate, has the champagne started flowing yet? Has it kicked in a little bit?
I wouldn't go that far, mate. Wouldn't go that far. But I tell you what, you made it tough for me.
Mate, yeah, look, I mean, the growth of the league in the last few rounds, Densley and that came out of nowhere and started to really claw those points back, and it became no longer about getting out in front, going hard and charging. It became a thinking man's race, and that's the most important.
Yeah, not really as well. Some race control things that happened and different things, but tonight was just about managing the race, man, and looking at Skullsy because he was the only one that was going to be there. So obviously put it on pole and led a lot of the early doors, but it just didn't really fall my way. So then I just had to manage the points, and that's what we did.
It's never easy to sort of sit down and focus on managing points and managing races as a whole. Sometimes you got to pull yourself back, and I think we saw that in the late running of things. You know, the points margin, it wasn't enough, and you sort of let a few trucks go and just said, "Hey, man, I'm here to manage. I'm here to look after things. If something happens, I just want to be here."
Yeah, well, at the end of the day tonight, it was all about just being consistent, man, and running about. I was only running one person tonight, and that was Skullsy. So it didn't matter where I finished on the racetrack. You just need to race the person you're racing. So did that tonight. I'm a little bit disappointed that we couldn't get the win because I think we had the truck to do it. We were definitely the fastest truck out there, but we didn't get that done tonight, but we got the championship, which is really good.
Talk to us about that first stint. It was so long ago now, and the way that it was sort of approached, because obviously there was a lot of tyre consumption. I was actually having a look at the lap times later on, and it looked like Matty Keane might have had a little bit of wood over you in terms of how it was all set up. But was that, again, the same sort of thing, just race management? Prepare yourself, run long, look after the tyres, sit in the right spots at the right time.
Yeah, you make a good point there. And in that race with Matty, when we come into that first green flag pit stop, he probably 6 or 7 laps before we were ready to go in, he was pulling away, and then I pulled back on him because I knew what the truck was going to do. And then I was feeling really good, and then we come in and I obviously got him in the pit stop and then made a little mistake and got a little bit loose and allowed him to get a little bit closer to me than what I would have wanted. But if we would have gotten green, it would have been really, really interesting because he did have a quick truck. So yeah, but it didn't. And I tell you what, I hope it was a good race for all the viewers to watch the final round tonight, because I wish I would have been in the top 3, but it was a definite interesting race with strategy and everything. And yeah, it was good to be a part of.
How do you approach those late race strategy calls? Because the early race, it's pretty nice and easy, set yourself up. But when it comes down to making that call about when to make your last stop, obviously we've talked a wide breadth of sort of strategy options and potentials, and you can do this, you can do that, you can do, 7 different kinds of things when it's coming down late. And it's never easy to sit down and just go, I've got to do this, I'm definitely doing this here. Tonight was probably, I think, the hardest strategy to call of the season.
Yeah, it was sort of 2 different strategies, Scott, to be honest. So if we kept going green, it was who was going to blink early and go, because once we had that first caution, it was one stop to the end. So it was who was going to blink early and then go and to be able to hold on. But then we got another caution late where everyone could get their tyres and go to the end. And then obviously me, my nufty, got a penalty. So that put me to an EOL. So it sort of changed it the whole way through, mate. So you could say that it was good one way or the other, but it created good racing. It was good.
Yeah, it made it. We were trying to predict what was going to happen up here, and I honestly said, I think at one stage to ShiBBy, you've got to commit at some lap number, and the problem is your strategy call is wrong for different reasons. If one set of circumstances happened, your strategy is perfect. It's 100% the best way to go. You cannot have called it any better. However, if another set of circumstances happen, another caution is triggered at a later date in specific lap windows, all of a sudden you're on the worst strategy known to man. You're just left out there and there's nothing you can really do about it. Is there ever that little bit of anxiety late race for you, where you just stick it, stay to the course, just do what I've got to do, focus on what I can control, and don't worry about the rest?
Tonight, mate, it wasn't about winning. Like, I thought about winning early. Probably till halfway through the race, I thought I would have won that, but then with the way that the race went, you need to change the way you think. So it wasn't about winning. Did I think I was able to win it? Yeah, 100% I did, as did everyone else out there tonight. But tonight my focus was just getting a position and try and get that win, because I come into this season, I really wanted to do it, because I should have done it last season, but I missed around because the internet gods decided to do their thing on them. So yeah, it's good to come away with the championship, but even more so to see other guys in here. It's really good, and good camaraderie between everyone.
I actually want to take this is a unique opportunity that I don't think is ever really going to come up. I actually want to reach out to you and say a big shout out and a big thank you for everything you've done with the IndyCar League and working with Pete Baxter over the last couple of seasons. Obviously, that league is quite special to me because it's where I blooded myself in terms of Australian group. It's where I made a lot of friendships, worked with a whole bunch of guys in terms of Australia, and now that decision has been made, that league in particular is going to be moving over to SRW, it creates a unique opportunity, I think, for both of us, because all of a sudden I can do commentary duties. I don't have to fight with IndyCar. For you can do both. You can race the trucks. I know you're much more of a stock car driver than you are an IndyCar driver, but you still really enjoy the racing that goes on in the IndyCar. So I think it's a unique partnership, and this is such a unique opportunity to say thank you for what's in everyone's best interest, I think, to work together on this partnership going forward.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, we're a community, and that's what we're about. So that's it. In regards to the way the IndyCar's going, it's not about me. Pete Baxter's done everything in regards to that. So it'd be silly of me to try and hold that back. So that's really good. But in relation to you, Scott, saying to me I'm more of a NASCAR driver than a road driver.
Oh, I didn't say road. I didn't say road.
My road in the real world is where I come from, but it might be because I'm getting old now, mate, and I'm like pushing closer to 40 now. It's just easier to just turn one way than two. So that might be the way, mate.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm actually really looking forward to it, because I'm actually going to try and commentate next season from the seat of the truck. I was actually trying to do some deals with Brendan behind the scenes to actually get out there on track, because it's been a fair while since I've been out there on track with you specifically. You were one of the guys I was actually targeting. I really wanted to get out there, but now we've got Blaine, now we've got Matty Keane, now we've got Palmer. Oh man, I'm so keen, because like we can go door to door. Like the trucks is we talked about. There's so much finesse. Normally, when we talk about aero packages and the way that the air moves around the car, you're going, oh yeah, just got to draft. Oh, the dirty air's coming through. You can't follow the car ahead. But with the NASCAR trucks and the Indy cars as well, as you guys will get to find out next season, that's not the end of how the aero works. We actually saw a couple of incidents where guys got really tight on somebody's right rear corner, and how that affected the truck's aero handling. And I know that you understand all of that. So it's I know I'm preaching to the choir talking to you, but I'm trying to preach to our fans. This is aero management. This is all air management. Add in some tires, add in some fuel, man. It's going to be intense, because you're going to see two completely different styles of driving next season in terms of trucks and IndyCar. And the drivers that can pull both off, they are so few and far between. It's so different. And I know for you, for coming from a go-kart background, there's elements to the go-kart that appear in both as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that so much in the sim world. The sim world does not transition from the real world.
Oh, not 100%.
Not quite that.
Yeah.
But in saying that, though, Scotty, if we get back to the point, with the IndyCars going across the SLW, there's nothing but positive that is going to happen out of that. That's going to be good. Live race control, and there will be a live broadcast, which will be good. And there will be a double with the NASCAR trucks as well, which I'll be sure to be back next season. But please don't don't put number 1 on my truck, because last time that happened, Jesus. But it's been a good season. And, I look forward to the next one, man.
Yep, same. And I think one of the biggest things that's come out of it is it's turned into Oval Mondays and everything is. I've already spoken to a few people who are coming from that are very, very big open wheel fans. This is going to be their chance to dip their toes in the water of ovals. And I have a feeling, I've said to a few different people that are in Indy cars, if you want to learn more about the oval side of things, get into the truck. So I think we're actually going to see both fields grow as a result, which is what the whole deal was about. You know, there's no reason in making these sorts of decisions and you lose drivers, because that's not in anyone's best interest. You lose community, you lose. So I'm really excited to work together and to work on something new next season. And I think the racing's going to benefit as a result, mate. And yeah, look, I mean, if we get back to 20-car fields in stock cars is just intense.
Well, let's get back to the point. I'm the champion.
Yeah, you got next season. There might be 19 other guys out there on the track. There might be 29 other guys out there on the track that are suddenly hungry.
More the merrier, mate. More the merrier.
Bring it on, big fella. I'm hunting for you. You got a target on your back now.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you very much, Aiden. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure talking to you week in, week out. Your unique understanding of the stock cars has been very much valued when we've talked to you in the interviews, and this is now your opportunity to thank everyone who makes it possible for you.
Look, at the end of the day, it's just thanking SRW, everyone for putting on the league. Obviously, without you guys, we don't have anything. And then, of course, all the competitors, as I say, every time I get the opportunity to talk to you guys, because if we don't have that, we don't have anything. And of course, all the guys at Southern Stars Esports, Mrs. XL Garage, Tiona Holiday Parks, and Sky Point. So all those boys as well. And that's the 3rd championship of the year for us or for myself in the stock cars. So
congratulations!
We can do that into 2023.
Yeah. Let's see if you can get a thing out there with wings on it and take that one as well. So that'll be huge next year, ladies and gentlemen. Aiden Schultz, your 2022 Season 4 champion of the NASCAR Truck Series. Aiden, go and celebrate with the boys.
Thank you, boys. Have a good night.
Well, now it is time to get a little bit emotional, ShiBBy. This is it. This is the last moments of the final podcast of the year. Do you want to extend this? We'll just go on for another hour or so.
Oh gosh, no, I've still got to work in the morning. As much as I've enjoyed this season, but not only this season, this whole year doing the Monday night podcast, mate, I do still have to work, and hopefully next year that's all going to change, and I can start on with SRW relatively more full time, guys. So let's hope for that. And then, yeah, sure. We can stay up all night podcasting as much as we want. Because I won't have to work.
24/7 podcast.
Yeah, just a 24/7 podcast.
I believe they call that a TV channel, mate.
Yeah, and speaking of TV, we are going to be on Channel 31 very soon, guys. So keep an eye out for that for all our Victorian viewers.
Most importantly, for those of you who haven't jumped in, who are thinking about it, don't hesitate. If endurance racing is your thing and the longer style and format of racing is what you want to be involved in, coming your way on the 10th and 11th of December is the SRW Camus 6-hour event. Will be a combination for the feature event of the V8 Supercars and the GT3s on your Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning for 6 hours. But if that doesn't whet the old endurance racing appetites, perhaps you don't want to go mashing it around a mountain in a thing that doesn't want to turn in and then does too much when you get it there. Perhaps, maybe you want a thing with wings on it. The Formula 3s and the SR8 Radicals will kick us off on the Saturday for a 90-minute enduro. Free to enter. Both classes will be out on track at the same time. First, second, and third as a part of that one, win 12-month subscription to Sim Racing. Well, perhaps you'll use that to come back and race for the Boat Ramp Trophy. Perhaps you will get to sign your name as the second winner of the Boat Ramp Trophy, or because of the results that you earned at the Camus 6-hour event. Well, then again, maybe Formula 3s, maybe Radicals, they're really not your thing. Well, we got something for you tin top drivers out there as well in terms of a 90-minute enduro. We've also got the TCR class and the Porsche Cup class coming to you. All of these series will be fixed racing as well, so don't worry about getting your setups together. All that information can be found on our Discord, or head to www.simracingworld.com.au. Register there as a driver, get your link to the Discord. All the signups will be held on the Discord. Then we flip over to the big thing on Sunday morning. Actually, Saturday afternoon, we'll have our qualifying and our top 10 shootout for the GT3 and V8 Supercar classes. Entry fee is $20 per driver to get yourself involved in that, and then you get yourself into the big dance. 6 hours on a Sunday. 2 Camus Racing Ultimate Bundle packs. That's a wheelbase, pedal set, and a racing wheel. Can be won on Sunday, the 11th of December. One for the team who finishes in first place in the V8 Supercars. One for the team who finishes first place in the GT3s. 2 drivers maximum per team. So it's going to be 2-4, 3-3, 1-5. However you guys want to split it up. I think 1-5 is probably out of the equation in terms of iRacing rules and how you have to hit your minimum equation. But who knows? Maybe it's not. But that is going to split yourself up, and that's how you're going to go racing for your Camus Ultimate Value bundles, and most importantly, those Sim Racing World subscriptions. That's quite handy. That's your racing for the next 12 months. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Oh, Saturday's off, but Sundays. 6 days of racing in 2023. That is the Camus Racing 6 hour, ShiBBy, and I've already signed up for both classes on the Saturday because I'm going to be here in the commentary booth on the Sunday. But I'm keen to rip roar and TCR around Bathurst for 90 minutes. In fact, I'm going to do half of that distance this Wednesday night.
Yeah, well, I wish I could be here to do it, but I'll just be on a cruise ship enjoying myself.
How dare you? How dare you, sir?
Oh, honestly, there's a big part of me that really wishes I was here to race those Radicals around Bathurst.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, if you've enjoyed the broadcast here tonight, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, there'll be a Racecraft racing rig to give away to somebody that's in that first 1,000 subscribers. Don't forget as well, tomorrow night, your Dirt 360 Sprint Cars. Who will be your series champion? Wednesday night, it'll be me and Doug Gowan going head-to-head for the TCR championship. Will the mighty little Hyundai Veloster come out on top, or will it be the Audi RS3 of Doug Gowan's that'll take that championship away? And I tell you what, ShiBBy, that championship, the team's championship in that one, dead heat. Going into Bathurst.
That's going to be a good race.
Following that will be the Formula 3s, who will sign, seal, and deliver that championship at the end of 2022. Thursday night will unfortunately be the swan song for one of our cars on Thursday night. The SR8 Radical actually might be a swan song for both cars on Thursday night. I actually don't know if either series will be competing in 2023. So SR8 Radicals followed by your Porsche Cup series. Friday nights, your GT3 Mini Enduros, I believe they're also heading to the mountain. So that'll be phenomenal. Who will be the Mini Enduro champion? That's also a nice warm-up event for the Camus 6 hour. And then finally on Sunday, the V8 Supercars. Who will thunder around the mountain? Who will claim glory in the top 10 shootout? And then who is going to be able to get it done on Sunday? That is it. It's grand final week for Sim Racing World. I've been the Rattlegun Rankin. He's been Nathan ShiBBy Howard. I've even been nice to you.
I was expecting a Nathan ShiBBy Howie is what I was really expecting there, but yes, guys, we will catch you all again for the Monday night podcast next year. And as Scotty said, make sure you tune in all week for our championship rounds, because it is going to be one heck of a week of racing. And until next time, guys, if we don't get to talk to you again, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.